I'm here with Brett Brown, the Director of Education for SASSGO. When I started with SASSGO, Brett was already an invaluable fixture in the organization. She has SASS in her bones and in her blood, and it has been such an honor to get to know her, not only as a colleague, but also as a dear friend. So can you tell us a little bit more about your role as Director of Education for SASSGO?
Yes. All right. What do I do here? I'm just kidding. Sorry. I couldn't help it. Yeah, so a big part of my role is the development of our educational programming and curriculum, and writing that and pulling it together. And that includes working with women and girls of all ages, or educational programming for specific disciplines. But part of my job is developing that over time, which means I have to stay up to date with current trends or anything that might relate back to our mission as an organization to eradicate abuse, assault, and trafficking globally. So that's a big part of my job. Another huge part of my job, which I also love, is training our instructors. And our instructors come from across the country, literally coast to coast, and they go through about a 3-month training period. And so my job is, one, to cultivate that training, and two, to kind of work them through it and get them to the place where they're ready to go out and train the public. So that's probably the two biggest parts of what I do.
Yes, and Brett's being somewhat modest. She is involved with all aspects of the organization and is the singular person behind this incredible instructor training program that we have. We've just completed our national instructor training that we held right here in the Midlands. And Brett has been working diligently to make sure that these fantastic women are ready to go out into the world and share SASS with their communities. So Brett, I gotta tell you, the first time that I went to a SASSGO class, I was a little intimidated. Because in my mind, how in the world in 2 hours was I going to learn how to defend myself? Now, I know the answer to that because I've been through a SASSGO class many times, but I want you to tell women and girls who may be thinking, what exactly is this all about? And can I really learn to defend myself in those 2 hours? What would you say to them?
Well, it's kind of funny. I have to be careful in what I say because it is our secret girls fight club. It's what we call it. No, what we do is really fairly unique. We train women and girls to use their greatest strengths against an attacker's weaknesses, maximum impact, minimum time. They have exactly what they need. And so what they're trained to do is to understand where those weaknesses are, where their strengths are, where their power comes from in their body, and to use it unbridled, right? To use that power because we take the time to recognize that they're valuable and they're worth that for themselves, for the people who love them. And so in those 2 hours, which people do come in a little bit nervous, but they leave big because there's an explosion of understanding of what is possible. And it's neat to watch. We have fun.
Can you tell me about the services that SASSGO offers?
Yes, I sure can. So as an organization, we really have 3 primary service areas. One is our empowered self-defense that we teach women and girls starting age 6 all the way to 206. As long as they will keep showing up, we will keep training them. We also have our educational programming. And this really, I always joke to say, we will talk to anyone who will listen. Now, our educational programming really spans that gamut of age groups and disciplines, anything people want to know more about, whether it's the basic subjects, dealing with assault and abuse, or if it's how to adjust their role in the system. We go out and we talk about a whole lot of different things with our educational programming. And the third is our consulting, and this kind of blends into that, where organizations may call us and ask us to come and look at how they're operating together in their area to deal with these issues. And so our role is to come in and look at the whole picture and see if there are any gaps in the system where potentially somebody could maybe not get the services they need, and help those organizations fill in those gaps so that anybody that they work with gets continuity of care to address any needs they may have.
And the educational programming, is that for men and women?
It is. It is for absolutely everyone. Since we all play a role in this to make the world a better place, it's for men and women everywhere.
What would you like people to know about SASS that may not be widely understood?
There are a lot of things. I think what I want people to know about SASS is that it's so much more than self-defense. And it's so much bigger than me or you or any of our instructors. It's a living, breathing thing, and it is a movement that is genuinely changing the world one day at a time. And what's so exciting is each time one of our instructors is able to address a new community, you start to see that exponential growth. And it's amazing. What I think is hard to articulate and understand is we've seen it start, right? Like, people are different after they get their hands on this programming, and one day at a time, the world could really look different tomorrow because of what is happening today all the way across the country. And it's hard to explain that, and it's no one person and it's no one moment, but it's the collective and the community and people saying we can actually do this and jumping on board. I think that's something that I want people to understand, and why we're so excited.
Since this interview is going to air on Midlands Gives Day, I would like to ask you a little bit more about what Midlands Gives means for SASGO and the women and girls that we serve.
It means everything. It genuinely does. If the goal is to reach as many people as possible, right, and to make a difference, every dollar is what allows us to get there, to go. And it's not just around the world. There are even so many people here in our own backyard, underserved populations who really need this material. And the only way to reach them is through the support of the amazing people here in the Midlands. And through days like this, it means everything. It allows our instructors to get to folks who may not otherwise ever hear how important they are and how strong they are. And so it means the world.